Hi, I'm Elaine Sheff, Clinical Herbalist and Co-Director of Green Path Herb School. I've been gardening for many years, and I'm very excited to share some of my medicinal plants with you. Today we're going to be talking about an herb that is extremely useful for headaches. Welcome to my herbal garden. So this is Feverfew. And Feverfew is a lovely herb in the composite family. It's very easy to grow. It's easy to grow from seed, and it will multiply. And so I kind of watch that carefully. Every year I get tons of little seedlings in my garden of Feverfew. And so it's something that I kind of tend to weed out a little bit when I get too much and just keep it under control. But it also makes a beautiful, amazing, really easy to grow flower in the garden, and it's a lovely cut flower as well. So I love to bring it into the house and use it in a vase. And it's an amazing medicinal plant. So here it is ready to harvest, basically. So you have these beautiful flowers. They just started blooming not that long ago, maybe 2 or 3 days ago. You can harvest it, the aerial parts is what you want. So you want the above ground parts of the plant, not the woody stem at the bottom, but once it gets kind of green and bendable, that's a good place to kind of cut it and use the upper portions. The leaves and the flowers and the stems you can use as well, the soft stems. So you can dry those or you can use them fresh. And I actually prefer kind of the general old-fashioned remedy for Feverfew is that you take one leaf between 1 to 3 times a day for headache. And Feverfew is good for just general headaches. It's good for migraine headaches. And it's good when you have a headache, but it's also good as a preventative. So if you have Feverfew growing in your garden and you get headaches, you can go out and every day eat a leaf, at least one, or maybe even a couple throughout the day, and see how that works for you. See if it doesn't reduce or eliminate your headaches. It is a vasodilator. And what that means is it opens up the vasculature. And so what can happen is that we get vasoconstriction and it feels really almost like a vice in the head. And so if heat helps, like you put a hot towel on your head and that helps, Feverfew is likely to help. That will help to open up the vasculature, help that blood to move freer and reduce that pain. It's also good for inflammation, which can often be associated with headaches. So wonderful and very specific headache remedy. It's also very bitter and it can be used as a bitter tonic. I prefer to use Feverfew as a tincture because it is so bitter, but also because it works really fast that way. So if you make an alcohol tincture of the fresh Feverfew herb, that's going to be useful all year long throughout the winter when you don't have access to the fresh leaves, right? You can use your tincture. And as soon as you put it in your mouth, it starts to work because it's bioavailable. The alcohol has pulled the medicinal properties out of the plant and they start being absorbed in the body right when you put them on your tongue, which is wonderful. I love tinctures for first aid remedies for that reason, or anytime you want a quick response for the body. The other thing you can do is you can take the leaves and freeze them in the freezer and just use them as you need them that way as well. So if you don't want alcohol, that's a good way to do it. And I love the idea of tasting plants, even though Feverfew is bitter, which a lot of herbs are, and bitter is a wonderful, wonderful flavor and property for stimulating the digestive response in the body. So it's actually quite important. And if you think about traditionally, like we would eat a bitter salad, like the French would have a bitter salad before dinner. And that's because bitter stimulates digestion. So Feverfew will help to stimulate digestion in that way. But to me, a tea of it, drinking a whole cup of it, is not pleasant. And so I prefer the tincture. You can put it right on the tip of your tongue and taste it if you want that bitter flavor. And I feel like to taste our herbs is really part of that healing process for the body, is to make that sensual connection. And by that I mean the connection with our senses, and taste being one of those, which I think is really important. We get our first information about that plant when we taste it, when we first put it in our mouth. So I think that's the very first step in that healing process. So I encourage you to plant some feverfew, try it in your own garden, and enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to our channel, and we'd love to hear your comments below. You can also like us on Facebook and share us with your friends. For more wonderful information about herbal medicine and about classes and events that we offer, you can visit our website at greenpathherbschool.com. Thank you so much for watching.